Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me after a brief hiatus is Lieutenant General Ravi Shankar. General Shankar and I have established this camaraderie where we take on things, we go a little bit more in deep, even more deeper than we normally do at P Guru's. And today we are going to do the same thing. What is the art that the Pakistani army has found that enables them to pick the politician of their choice again and again, over and over? If Nawaz Sharif becomes the prime minister again, it will be the fourth time he'll become the prime minister. So to know all this and more, let's welcome General Ravi Shankar. General Ravi Shankar, namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel. How are you, sir?
Namaskar. Thanks a lot for this opportunity for us to talk to each other. All fine. A lot of things
Sir,
happening in Pakistan.
yes, you shared with me a super duper cartoon. I'm going to start with that, and then we'll
We'll start with that.
yes,
Yeah.
go ahead,
This
sir.
is the
Yeah.
motto. This is the motto of the Pakistan Army. Jang kadi jeeti nahi, election kadi hari nahi, hariya nahi. That's in Punjabi. It's very simply, they've never won a war and they've never lost an election. But I think in this election, they might lose. They might not lose the election, but they might lose something more than that. They're at the danger of that. There's a critical election which is going on there. You know, so far, whenever there's been a election on and Pakistani army has engineered the whole thing, they've had the whole story in their grip. And this is one time when I think everyone has lost the plot. And there's rigging going on. At the same time, the returning officers are worried about the whole story. Some of them have not agreed to rigging. That's why you see Imran Khan's party has won about 60 odd seats already. Um, and if you see the net or you see the Twitter, you find a whole lot of videos flowing and how people are rigging and X, Y, Z. Returning officers have signed off on the results where a candidate has won by X votes and the total votes polled in that particular booth are lesser than that. So, I mean, the story is still ongoing. I mean, yeah, if I put it in the same manner of that cartoon, I will say, ये तो ट्रेलर है, असली स्टोरी अभी बाकी है. Okay. So everything is fluid. But as of now, PTI or PTI surrogates independence, I think have crossed about 60 odd seats. Uh, Nawaz Sharif is far behind, but he's declared victory. I think he's lost one seat, one place where he was, standing for elections also. PPP is a far third. It's going to be a hung election if you look at it from the point of view of this thing. But the rigging is on the table. So this whole story, the formation of the government itself is a question mark. The way it looks like it's possible that the army will force the PPP and the PMLN to form a government. Whichever government which is formed will be unstable. The army will not let the PTI back independent formed government if it can form a government to run its course. They'll keep troubling them. If these two people are there, PPP and PMLN, then that government will be anyway unstable, and you're going to see more chaos in Pakistan. And so far, we have thought that it is the army which pulls all strings. Everyone was expecting that Sharif will come back to power. That's not happening, and so everything is up for grabs in this whole story, and it's going to have far-reaching implications. Why? Probably for the first time, the army is being stood up to. And you have to look at it the continuum of the time when Imran Khan was deposed. May 9th, he was arrested. And now, over the 2 year period, 2.5 year period, if you see, he stood up to the army. And that is something which, for the first time, by voting for Imran Khan candidates, the people of Pakistan have stood up against the army dictate, which is significant. It has never happened so far, right? Uh, so, but then the army is not going to let go. Army is not a small thing in Pakistan. They're going to twist everyone's tails. They got a whole lot of independents who they'll twist their tail and make them vote the way they want to form the government, and they'll run the government. But it's going to be unstable. So I see a lot of instability in Pakistan looming ahead. Whichever government comes will have its own agenda. Whoever is in the opposition will try to topple that government because they'll have their agenda, right? Some important names like that Fazlur Rahman, who was JUI leader, he's been knocked off in this election. Parvez Katak, who was the chief minister of KP under Imran Khan, but who rebelled against Imran Khan and went, he's been knocked off. So there are a lot of questions. How will these independents come and form a government, especially when Imran Khan is in jail? What will happen to his future? So, and a lot of wheeling dealing must be going on. It's pretty clear that there's a lot of rigging which has taken place. That's on. So one doesn't know which way Pakistan is going to head. Uh, with all this, there have been violence also. Right. So instability in Pakistan is going to endure. Now, if instability in Pakistan is going to endure politically, then that western border will continue to be unstable because TTP will take advantage of the whole situation. Even Iran will, take advantage of the whole thing. Their economy is not going to turn around because people are going to keep fighting. And this will be a good excuse for the other guy to say, "Oh, you did this, so I'm doing this." And you are the one who started, who's put this economy down. We did it well. They've been their normal story so far. So you're going to see a lot of instability in Pakistan. Now, how does it affect us? Instability in our neighbor will affect us always. Will affect India whether we like it or not, right? Someone will start doing something or the other, which might have a spillover effect with us. But other than that, you're going to see a Pakistan which is completely internalized, which is good for us. I sort of like it because real politics says I should view it objectively. Objectively, when I see they're going to be in pain for a long time to come. Now, if you look at Pakistan's external relations, China won't be very happy with what's happening. Many people won't be happy if Imran Khan or his surrogates come to power. Right? Neither will the US guys be happy, nor will China be happy, nor will the Gulf people be happy. Then you have to view this instability along with the instability in the North Arabian Sea and the Red Sea and all that nonsense, which is happening elsewhere. Pakistan was busy conducting exercises with Iran and Saudi Arabia and China and Russia and all that. The kind of instability which is happening there, how much leeway will Pakistan get to do anything is a question mark. So these are the big things at stake, uh, right, in Pakistan today. Uh, how this will get resolved, it's only time which will tell. But definitely, everyone is taking time to come out with the results. Everyone is being economical with the truth. Everyone is playing his own game, right? And there is problem in POK. There are problems in Gilgit Baltistan. So we're going to see this issue flare up more. I don't see this ending, in a happy state of affairs where someone becomes a prime minister, and from there Pakistan gets a new lease of life. No. Oh, as far as the Pakistan army is concerned, sometime back, I'll go back last year. Last year, when Imran Khan was arrested, there's a fair section of people within the Pakistan army who were opposed to this entire thing, especially the veterans. The serving generals gave these chaps a shut up call. And there were rifts in the Pakistan army on which I have never had a doubt. That's why the sitting corps commander was sacked. A whole lot of officers are under, court martial. And XYZ, they did a lot of things. Now, all that will surface. If that surfaces, you're going to see divisions within the army. Then what does Asim Munir do? How does he handle this whole situation? So far, he's, ramrodded his way through. Can he do it further? If he does it further, will the IMF stand by him? Because next month they have to go, March, April, they have to go back to IMF to convert that standby arrangement into another lease of life. China is not going to give them. And if democracy doesn't play, this is the ideal time for USA to twist Pakistan's tail. So a lot of things at stake, and it's going to be fun. So I've given you an opening gambit. You could ask me questions from here.
Yes, sir. And before I ask questions, viewers, I don't know how many of you saw these shorts of mine. I released it sometime in the morning today. So just take a quick look at that.
Yeah.
Is Imran Khan about to pull the biggest upset of his lifetime? From what we are hearing about the elections that took place for 266 seats, it is believed that the independents, which are essentially PTI members, are leading between 150 to 166 seats. The question now is, what is the United States going to do? Are they going to let democracy prevail in Pakistan? Yeah, that democracy that they preach to the whole world. Are they going to allow this to prevail and tell the army, go back to your barracks? That's the big question. Stay tuned. We'll have a more detailed response a little bit later. Thank you. Namaskar. So this, viewers, is the detailed response as we look at it from a general's viewpoint. And also, Lieutenant General Ravi Shankar was the best person for this job, because he, for the government, has conducted elections in very sensitive areas, whether it is Punjab or the Northeast or in Jammu and Kashmir. So he knows what it takes to conduct a free and fair election. And this is not something that we should claim. It's the people who are come there. They should claim that, yes, these elections were free and fair. And what happened was, General Ravi Shankar, I was following it right from the get-go. First off, in many constituencies where either the PPP or the PMLN was seen to be a little bit weak, the election balloting didn't start on time. They deliberately delayed it, and they stopped it at 5 sharp. And you know something, usually if there is a line collected at 5 o'clock and the elections end, you allow all of them to come in, you close the main door, right? They didn't do that. They drove out even those people who are inside the complex to vote. So there has been all, these are all the things.
Not only that, you see, what has happened is the way the results are coming out. As of now, I'm looking at Dawn. Dawn has reported that 157 seats have been announced. 62 have gone Imran Khan party's way, 43 with PMLN, and 36 with PPP. Okay. Now, there are about, they have to get 134 seats to come to the halfway mark. I don't see Imran Khan doing it. But the like you rightly said, in the morning, the cover was that he'll make it. What has happened? What could have happened? What could have happened is, of course, one is they've stopped people from voting. Since they knew that the whole tide is going against them, stop people from voting becomes less. It's okay. They might have allowed selective voting also, which we don't know. That will come out. But what seems to have happened is, in certain constituencies, which has come out in the Twitter. I'm talking from Twitter. A guy was leading in the morning by X number of votes. By evening, he's losing by X number of votes. So the whole thing is turned. What I feel has happened is in those constituencies where the gap was large, they said, okay, we can do very little. In those constituencies which are the gap is less, where rigging could take place, and so guys have made up votes there. I think that's what's happened, and it appears to me that if they do mass scale rigging, it will go completely against the army, and then the situation will become irretrievable. But if there is selective rigging which goes on, right, you allow PTI to gain a majority, which they have done, but also ensure that between PPP and PMLN, they can form a government, then they can push their way through. And that is what they're trying. That is what is apparently coming out. And we have to remember in Pakistan, there are actually 5 players in this whole game of elections. The 3 main parties, PTI, PMLN, and PPP, the army, and the 5th player is the judiciary. In its entire history, okay, this is not the first election which the army has rigged, nor will this be the last. Uh, so, but every time it needs the judiciary by its side. If the judiciary is with it, it will push the whole thing through. Outright rigging, the judiciary all would not have been with them. So this partway rigging, the judiciary might cow down. Partway rigging, it is possible that US and the Western world will say okay, right, and go through by funding them and all that. So the chief of army staff is playing a calculated game. Okay, he's not going to let go. One thing we should be sure, and he couldn't care a damn what USA says in this. On that also, I'm very sure, because sooner or later he is very clear that USA will come back to him, because he has his own stakes, or rather, Pakistan has leverage through its relationship with China and vice versa. Right? When it comes to power, they're pretty ruthless. So, and they put Imran Khan in the can. He's not going to come out. The court will not let him come out. That they'll manage. So, if the PTI people form a party, it will be without Imran Khan. Will that party stay together? Will that party give leadership? Or will they destabilize that whichever government which is formed through Imran Khan's party and then get back to this? So a whole lot of things are at stake. Everything today, as of today, is in motion. Probably by tomorrow afternoon, evening, we'll get a idea as to where this is. But let me tell you, for the fortunes of the Sharifs, it's a big blow. In fact, Nawaz Sharif has already declared victory. Right? PPP is waiting in an ambush mode. Okay, वहाँ कहाँ मेरा मौका मिलेगा? PTI is going all guns blazing. It's the army which is in the critical mode. The criticality is in the army because it has all 3 options laid out in front. It might face a situation tomorrow which is unprecedented. Already, the situation it faces is unprecedented in the history of Pakistan. So it might be on the crosshairs for a long time to come. If the people of Pakistan go against the army, then the army is in the boondocks. The other thing is, okay, they push this, coalition through, which it appears they will by tomorrow, and you get the judiciary to rubber stamp this whole thing and run a government. But that will be a rubbery government, which this thing. The third option is martial law. If nothing works, impose martial law, but that has its own repercussions, right? They will try this hybrid model only because hybrid model allows them the leeway of doing backseat driving. and the thing doesn't come on their head. So one has to see which way this whole thing will function. And uh, I mean, rigging and all is par for the course. What you're saying, this in many cases they started voting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So what you're saying is absolutely right. A lot of things have happened which are not normal, and all these will come out. It's not as if they're not going to come out. Yeah, your views, and
Yes, sir.
we'll take it forward.
Yeah. So, couple of things that made rigging harder for the army, I think, is that the turnout was supposedly around 70%, 70. And when you have such a huge turnout, then what happens is there are fewer blank checks, if you will, to play with. That's why you mentioned one thing where the margin, oh, I mean, the guy got more votes than the actual votes polled. So that means that clearly there was a rigging there. Somebody didn't have their math right. And all these things, right? You have to be very clever at trying to do this thing. And most importantly, you have touched upon that. The people have said enough to the army. The returning officers are not allowing. In fact, yesterday in one of our other shows, we showed a written observation by a returning officer saying that I was asked to register 900 fake votes. See, at a booth level, these are all people at a very low level, right? And they are saying that I was forced to do this thing. And he has given a written
Yeah, yeah.
election commissioner saying
It,
that, look,
no, no,
yeah,
I agree with you. Not only that, many returning officers have refused to even declare results. They've told the election commission, "You declare results. I am not going to declare results." Okay. Obviously, there's rigging going on there, or something has happened with you. Look, at the end of the day, we have to realize there are 225 million people there, and about 120 million are voting in this, election. People are people. They have their own feelings. Someone might be a Imran Khan fan, someone might be a Shahbaz Sharif fan, XYZ, whoever. He might have his political leanings deep, like our election, returning officers and people polling booth staff and all. Where will they get guys from? They're all government servants. Or there'll be some clerk somewhere, some teacher somewhere, some tehsildar somewhere. These are the guys who are put. So they will have their feelings, and they have their own sense of righteousness. Okay, it is not as if they have to fight a war against India where everyone turns around and say India ko hara do. This is against themselves. It's their bread and butter at stake. So all this is what you're saying is absolutely spot on, and I mean it's happened. The thing we'll have to see is what's going to happen further. I mean, we're talking about nuclear nation, which is in spin. It's been in spin for the past 2 years. And what happens? And remember, there's this party called Tehreek-e-Labbaik. I was seeing somewhere, hearing some commentary, and one of those Pakistani channels today, when I was walking around, that they have got a fair amount percentage of votes. And Tehreek-e-Labbaik is the one who talks of blasphemy, and they hung that Sri Lankan. They lynched that Sri Lankan 2 years back for blasphemy. So, and they created a lot of havoc. So, there are issues. There are subterranean issues in Pakistan which are going to come up in this election once this whole thing goes through. So, and I mean, the number of I think they've used the entire Pakistani army to control these elections, and yet it has not. It has gone against them. That also will weigh heavily on people's mind. At the end, I mean, whether we like it or not, I give it to that Pakistani voter who, for the first time, probably has stood up and said, "Enough is enough, and no more is no more." Whether he'll have the gumption to take this forward to its logical conclusion is a different story. Okay, but people have spoken. People are people. I mean, hats off. The only good positive thing about this entire election is that the people are exercising their not only their vote, they're expressing their will also. which I thought is a positive thing. If there is some iota of redemption in this whole story, it lies there. Yeah, all yours.
Very true, General Ravi Shankar. So we'll wait and see what plays out, viewers.
Yeah.
And also remember, viewers, there is no EVM concept in Pakistan. It is still
No,
ballots,
no, I
and it's all
learned
yeah.
ballot. Yeah.
So it's very
I mean,
very easy to wait.
on Twitter, you can see videos of people, stamping away and all that. People throwing it off, throwing ballots off. All that it's come out. And, you'll see more of these coming out. It's only 12 hours since the war. So
that's where things stand now. General Ravi Shankar, we have a lot of questions for you. If you don't mind, sir,
yeah,
we can
we'll
take
ask.
a few of them.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
take. Look, in such a situation, go through the questions patiently. We have a lot of time. We'll answer them. Maybe from that we'll come to know. We'll have a more informed discussion.
Yes,
I'm all
yes,
yours.
yes.
Yeah.
Karthik Vishwanathan wants to know, seems total votes polled in Pakistan is 293,000, but the valid votes were 294,000. Was it an election? Can't even do proper rigging?
That's what I told you. I think in Nawaz Sharif's case, only in some place they've said the total number of votes which he's been given are more, and whereas the total votes polled and the total constituency has lesser number of votes. Not even polled. The constituency has now lesser number of votes, and that returning officer has signed it. I saw it on Twitter. So that's what's happened. That's a reality. Look, from India, we can laugh at it. We can laugh at it. Or we might feel supercilious about the whole affair. We might feel superior about the whole affair. But remember, this is Pakistan. Okay? A lot of things. Maybe the returning officer has purposefully done all these things at the lower level to make that thing invalid. The returning officers are also, like I said, human beings. They're also Pakistanis. They have some loyalty to their own nation, right? And I would suggest that don't compare what we do in India to what happens there. Like Mr. Sree Iyer said in the beginning, that look, I have a lot of experience in, what shall I say, conducting elections.
Conducting elections,
look,
yeah.
Conducting elections, yeah. Let me tell you a story of my experience in Punjab. Punjab, we're talking of 90s. Elections were taking place. Militancy was on. Terrorism was on. We were conducting daily, operations. In that, we had to conduct the elections also. People were not prepared to vote. Let me tell you, people were not prepared to vote. Right? That was the view. But they were also nice to the army. I used to go around patrolling, go to each village, speak to people, speak to youngsters. This was in the 6th or 7th month of our deployment there. I had developed a lot of friendships in that constituency, right, in that district. I knew each village, everyone. So on the day of that voting, polling, we were told, look, everyone should poll. People should be sent. People should be forcibly motivated. They didn't say forcibly motivated, but people should be motivated to go and do polling. We in the army said, no, we'll not do that. People should come out on their own and vote. If they don't come, we're not going to force them. Out of question. But if they come, we'll ensure that they are protected to vote. We are here for security. We're not here to conduct elections that way. We'll help the polling booth people. We'll protect those who are doing polling duty from terrorists. We'll go flat out. That's what we did. And I remember that day, around 11, 12 o'clock in the morning. So I was sitting near a village and I saw a few young boys hanging around a culvert nearby. So I went to them. They all said, Saab Jai Hind and all that. So I sat down, started talking to them. So I said, भाई क्या वोट पा दिया कि नहीं? नहीं साहब, कभी नहीं. तो क्यों? कहता नहीं साहब, वोट नहीं डालेंगे. So I said, yeah, we are friends, right? Why don't you go and vote? Then they said, sir, we'll give you tea, we'll give you mumfuli, everything. They brought from their house. We had a cup of tea, everything, but they won't vote. So finally, I struck a deal with them. I said, look, 5, 6 chaps go and vote because from morning those chaps are there and they have not. They agreed. So the village headman came. So he nominated 5 or 6 people. They went and voted. They not only went and voted, they gave the polling booth staff food to eat also. Okay. And they voted those 5 votes. I don't know who they voted for also. But that's it. And the polling booth staff said, sir, thank you for helping us out. We were scared that these villagers itself might kill us. And that was the situation then. But things went off well. And ultimately there were cases where MLAs won by a difference of 100 votes, 50 votes, because the total votes polled in that constituency were just less than 1,000 or 2,000, right? So even in Assam, I remember people won because they were, unopposed with 6 votes, 7 votes, single figures. I mean, today Assam is different from what it was then or Punjab. So we've gone through this cycle, but we've had an army which supported the Constitution of India and the rights of the people to exercise their franchise. Whereas in Pakistan, the army is the biggest political player. The legitimacy of Pakistan has been always under question mark throughout the 75 years of its existence. It has had 2 or 3 constitutions, I forget that, right? So we don't have to compare ourselves with them. It's like comparing apples and oranges. In fact, I would say sweet apples and rotten oranges. So, well, let's look at Pakistan and how this election affects Pakistan, and we can talk on that. We take questions on that, IRT.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel free to ask us questions about this process of what the voter is thinking. 70% electorate turnout. That means there's very strong feelings for who they want to see governing them. I
So
find
I
that
didn't know.
point. Yeah,
I
70%, sir.
didn't know it was
Yeah,
70%. I didn't know it
yeah.
was 70%.
So there are two contrasts, General Ravi Shankar. In Balochistan, couple of polling stations itself was blasted out.
Yeah,
Done, including the officers are done. And there are some places where the people who are going to, like the army or whoever was trying to help in the process, they also got IED'd and they are also gone. So Balochistan and KPK, there are elections, but they are not really, they are very farcical. Nothing really happened in those places.
yeah, I agree
Even
with you.
in that, sir, Maulana Diesel has lost. Fazlur Rahman has
Yeah, that's
lost.
what Fazlur Rahman has lost. Yeah,
Yeah,
Fazlur
yeah,
Rahman has. That's why I said no. Fazlur Rahman has lost. Parvez Katak has lost. Even
yeah.
Nawaz Sharif has lost in one constituency. So I mean, look, this is a. We'll see changes. In fact, what I want to tell everyone, right? Tomorrow on Gunner Shot, we're going to have a super panel on, and we're going to discuss this at 8 o'clock in the evening. Come over, and
Yeah.
where I'm going to have General Gautam Murthy, who has been to Pakistan as a brigadier and spent time. He knows most of these senior officers. He's going to talk. Then Aisha Siddiqa, who's written that book Military Incorporated, and she's not allowed to come back into Pakistan. She stays in England. Very cerebral. She's written 4 or 5 books on Pakistan. She's going to speak. Plus Tara Karta, who's been a member of the National Security Council. She's going to speak in General Atta Hasnain. So all these 4 people are going to be on my channel tomorrow, and we're going to discuss what's the future for Pakistan, right? So we're going to start at 8, and I have decided that I'll give them as much time as possible, even if the program goes for 2 hours, so be it, because they got so much knowledge that they can think. So But then, till then, any questions we'll take on.
Yeah, we have some more questions, sir. Let's go to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
next
yeah,
question,
please.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vijay Kumar Srivastav wants to know, do you think Nawaz Sharif would be Prime Minister if he's fit enough to beg Modi ji for imdad?
Look, again, I think this is too premature. You're getting too biased, Vijay. Let me be very honest. Whether Nawaz Sharif has declared victory. That is a news flash which I just saw 2 minutes back also. Uh, whether he becomes the prime minister, we don't know. And why are we bothered about what Modi ji will do or not do? That is later a story. Right now, let's discuss Pakistan. Uh, I would say focus on Pakistan, right? Whether he begs more, that I keep saying, don't pit yourself against Pakistan. Why? There's a reason why I say so. The day India, we start pitting ourselves against Pakistan, you're getting down to their level. Do you want to be at their level? You have to look above Pakistan. Why do you want Modi ji to even talk to Nawaz Sharif? It doesn't happen. Like this chap Moizu in Maldives, shot off his mouth. Did Modi ji even respond? You should know when Pakistan has gone to that level where you have to start looking above. You are a great power, damn it. I mean, you have to raise yourself above that. One of the problems I find with most of us is that we are emotionally attached to this country called Pakistan. We have to be emotionally attached to India and what India has to achieve. If we are hyphenated with Pakistan, we will go down to that level, which I mean, that's my advice. You can, I mean, the choice is yours. We are in democracy. Because you have this emotion, I'm not going to stop you from emoting. But India is in a different pedestal.
I might also add to what the good general said that when Justin Trudeau was making remarks in support of the agitating farmers in Punjab, Modi didn't respond to that, even though this is
We
clearly
don't.
out of his realm. Trudeau shouldn't have done that. So that is the thing. That is the stature.
We are at a different level altogether. Yeah.
Next one, please. Magnet Ranga wants to know, Nawaz was jailed and now contender for PM. What happened to all the sins? Did they get whitewashed? Can Imran too have such hopes?
Magnet, it's very simple. You have to understand that in Pakistan, the thing between exile, being in jail, and being in the prime minister's office is a triangular affair. A chap who's a prime minister could be hung or sent to jail, or he could go on exile, and he'll come back from exile. And this is a common thing. There's another one-way street in Pakistan. A chap becomes a chief of army staff. He runs the country for 5, 6, 10, 15 years, whatever. And then he leaves the country. He'll never come back or he'll come back dead. You see, every one of the dictators, it has happened. Because Ziaullah got blown away. But you look at Kayani, you look at Rahil Sharif. Rahil Sharif is sitting in Saudi Arabia. Kayani is sitting somewhere in Australia. Right? He's invested in an island out there. That's what people keep telling me. Perez Musharraf was sitting in,
US.
London. US. No,
US,
London.
Sir? I thought
He was
US.
in London.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. But I thought he was in
These
London.
people are rich beyond imagination. They have houses
Imagination.
everywhere.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a matter of detail. And that other fellow who got, scolded in Paris on the street by some Afghan.
Yeah, Bajwa.
Bajwa. So they're all out. They don't stay in their own country. This is a problem. So for them, it doesn't matter. In fact, in Pakistan, the way to the PM's office is through a jail. So it's okay.
Thank you. And Samrit Dash wants to know, sir, do you think Pakistan is heading towards a civil war?
It might not be a civil war because that's the extreme case. Because if the Pakistan army, there's a split, there might be a problem. Even if there's a split, the Pakistan army is so greedy that they'll ensure that Asim Munir is ejected out, someone else is appointed, and they'll coalesce because they want to be in the show. Money. Money is important. And they want to be in power. So they're not going to let go of power. So civil war is a far-fetched idea. Okay. Uh, and civil war needs, you have to be, there have to be deep-rooted feelings or emotions for a civil war to erupt. Whether you look at the, civil war in USA or the Russian Revolution between the Reds and the Whites. So you will see that the emotions are different in civil wars always. Okay, for that matter, in Sri Lanka, what happened? Ethnicities matters. The ethnic divides in Pakistan are not so deep. Politically, they might split, but at every point of time, there will always be a guy who wants to be in power, and he will make what shall I say, deal with the other guy. So he'll make compromises and a deal. It will never go through that civil war. That's why I said five entities in Pakistan. Three political parties, P1, P2, P3. E is the establishment and J is the judiciary. And the equation in Pakistan has been E, that is establishment, plus P1 and P2, plus judiciary, keeps the third party out. That was what this thing. Now this party, this third party P1, is now trying to turn the tables on the rest. Let's see where it goes. Civil war is far fetched.
Next. Nandakumar wants to know, Captain, no, not Captain, man. Don't get the rank
Anyway,
wrong.
it's okay.
Please. General Shankar,
No, it's
wonder
okay.
what the. नहीं sir, बच्चों को सीखना है sir. Sir, when you address an
I'll tell
army
him. I'll
person,
tell him.
so
I'll tell
sorry
him. I'll
guys.
tell him.
Yeah. Wonder what the regime change group in the US, which has so much to say about elections in Bangladesh, has to say about this free and fair election. And very good question, Nandakumar. Sir.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think so. Nandakumar, just for your information, it's only in the army that a person's name changes often, and that rank stays with you for life. If I'm a general, I'm a general now for life. I was a captain when I was 40 years back. I was a captain. So it's good for all of us to know uh, because the president of India gives this rank to us. Okay, and this is something sacrosanct. So it's good to know who the other person you're speaking to, right? Every rank doesn't fit everyone. Okay. The regime change group tried what they wanted in Bangladesh, but they knew that they were not going to succeed because of many reasons. And probably they realized at some point of time that whatever they're trying to do would go against their own interests if that regime change happened. Right? I don't think that India alone could have pushed the election through in Bangladesh the way it went. And after that election is over, the US regime change group has also not spoken. Right? At some point, I thought there was some light at the end of the tunnel. Right? That's how it is. Now, they are also worried about this free and fair election business. Whichever way Pakistan goes is bad for everyone. It's bad for US, it's bad for China, it's bad for the Middle East, it's bad for us. Probably the guys who are best off is India. The guys who are next best off is TTP. Because TTP has more fertile ground to do what they have to do. So it is these two, three things which you have to keep in mind. Yeah.
Sir, if US was serious about conducting free and fair elections, they could have sent Amnesty International like Jimmy Carter used to do.
No.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
All that in this case, all that they knew, everyone knew that these elections were being rigged.
Next one, please.
And the answer is in this.
Partha wants to know who or which nation can Pakistan help build as nuclear capable? Will this result in Pakistan losing this capability?
This will not happen. Let's be very clear. The Pakistan army has got the nuclear capability in its fist. They'll not let it go. They're not going to use it. But it's that nuclear capability which gives them money, which sustains them. So they'll not let it go. Okay. Until such time they have the nuclear capability, they will not, they will be politically relevant. And it's one into the other. And this is not something which the Western society is interested in doing at this point of time. They are not only not interested in doing it, they don't have the capability to do it. Who will do it? Okay. What if things go wrong and this entire area goes into conflict zone? Can USA afford another conflict zone? Already people are talking of China taking advantage of the US, being committed in Ukraine and in West Asia. In fact, today we were supposed to discuss that. We were supposed to discuss China going to war and why will China go to war. Okay. Uh, so I don't think they will, at this point of time, what everyone would be worried is how to stabilize Pakistan. It's in everyone's interest that Pakistan remains stable at this point of time. How that stability, what is that level of stability, what is the level of instability you will accept in Pakistan? That's a moot point. But that's the interest.
Dawood Ibrahim, I'm sure it's a pseudonym. Hello,
Yeah.
sir. America has been quite quiet about the elections and least bothered about the outcome too, isn't it? Don't they have any interest in this country anymore?
They have. That's what I said. They have. Whoever comes, they wanted to settle. Even for them, Imran Khan is a poor outcome. Right? Let's be very clear. See, suddenly Imran Khan has become popular. Right? And for whatever reason, he's played the media well. He's played the victim card. He's played the World Cup card. He played a lot of cards. But I think the army and this PPP and PMLN were fools to have evicted him the way they did. If they had let him go for another 2 months, he would have collapsed on his own. Because the economy of Pakistan was very badly off. Things were not happening. He was most unpopular in Pakistan. So you had to grant it to the army and PPP and the PMLN to have handled the Imran Khan in such a manner that today is the most popular guy. Right? If he comes, he will be nothing short of a dictator. So he'll create more problems than earlier. So no one wants him. So now USA and many people are saying let it be some outcome where there's some stability, so that we can move ahead. That's what people are expecting. I mean, they don't have the what shall I say, stamina to go through with Pakistan.
Next one, please. Harsh Kumar wants to know, sir, I love all your shows you've done on various platforms. The question is, would it cause more chaos in Pakistan? Would Imran or Sharif become more pro-India or become Palturam? Oh, they are all Palturams.
Look, no one is going to be pro-India. Let's be very clear. Okay, if they have to win elections, they can't be pro-India. Everyone has said first Kashmir and then talks, which means it's a non-starter. Okay, more chaos will be there. We're going to see chaos. Let's be very clear. This is not the end of the show. Already, this elections has been so chaotic. The post-election scenario will be even more chaotic. I mean, you'll get a fairer idea by tomorrow. Come and watch this on Gunner Shot when those four experts are talking. I'm going to just moderate. Tomorrow I'm going to be like Sree Iyer ji, waiting and watching what the other people talk.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Ramchandra Kumar, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Next one. Thought Provocateur, thank you. Shouldn't we ask if US China won or army or NOTA? None of the above.
I don't. At this point of time, there's no winners. You'll see. The thing is still evolving. There's nothing. At this point of time, it's still up for grabs. Everything is up for grabs.
Thank you so much, General Ravi Shankar. And one of the things I like about Imran Khan, good speaker. He had all these nicknames for people. Maulana Fazlur became Maulana Diesel. Then
Diesel.
he called Shehbaz Sharif as Cherry Blossom. Cherry Blossom, by those of you who don't know, it's a boot polish. So that's what he said that Sharif was. All sorts of interesting stuff. So it goes down to the lower levels, and it resonates with these people, and he starts naming these people and calling them names. So, but one thing we have to give it to him, that he dared to take on the army that nobody else did before that. So this is the most important time, I think, for Pakistan. We'll have to wait and see how it goes out. So, General Ravi Shankar, once again, my naman and thanks to you, sir. And I will definitely be carrying that program. We have another program going live at 8. So what I will do is, with your permission, I'll rebroadcast it a little bit later.
Yeah,
and our viewers will also get to see it. Thank you so much, sir.
Namaskar. I'll give you the link in the morning, right?
Yes. Thank you so much, sir.
Bro, thank you. Thanks a lot, and good night.